we are going to discussing something about 8th standards social science one unit called Greek, Roman and American civilizations. Greek, Roman and American civilizations. And the third unit today we are going to discussing as a subunit Greek civilization. Greek civilization. Under that, introduction of Greek civilization, city-states concept, and we are going to learning something about the city-states called Athens, Sparta, and their religion and educational and literature aspects are going to be learning today's class. Okay, dear students. Greek civilization. So it means the development of Greek civilization and their contributions. Development of Greek civilization. Development and contributions of Greek civilization. Greek civilization. So dear students, Greece is a peninsula of Mediterranean Sea. Greece is a peninsula. Is a peninsula of Mediterranean Sea. Is a peninsula of Mediterranean Sea. Aegean Sea separates Greece from Asia Minor. Since the Balkan mountain range passes through the middle of Greece, Balkan mountains passes through the middle of Greece. So it separates Greece, and small hills and valleys divide Greece. Small hills and valleys. Small hills and valleys divides Greece. See, the Balkan mountain and the small hills and valleys divides the Greece. Since all the parts of Greece are connected by sea, since all the part of the Greece connected by the sea, and Greeks could strengthen their navy. Greeks could strengthen their navy force. So all the parts of the Greek connected to the seas. That's why they could strengthen their naval forces. The Greeks belong to Indo-European race. They belongs to Indo-European race. Indo-European race. I mean, Greeks belongs to Indo-European race. The ancient Greek was called as Hellenes. Ancient Greeks Ionian and Dorias among the ancient Greeks. There are so many tribes communities. Greeks are tribes communities. Among them, very importantly, Aeolian. And another one, Ionian. And Darius. D-O-R-I-O-U-S. See, Greeks are basically tribal community peoples. So these are all the several tribal communities of Greeks. And among the ancient Greek tribal communities. Okay. See, this is what we call the geographical features and the race of Greeks. The geographical features and race of the Greeks. See, Greece is a peninsula of Mediterranean Sea, and Balkan mountains passes through the middle of Greece. Small hills and valleys divides Greece. Greeks could strengthen their navy forces. They belonged to Indo-European race. Ancient Greeks were called as Hellenes. Ancient Greeks belongs to tribes communities like Aeolian and Darius. See, this is what we call their geographical features and their race details. Okay. After that, we are going to learn something about city-states of Greece. City-states. Nagara Rajya. Dear students, 3000 years back. How many years back? 3000 years back. Every tribe had a king and every king had an advisory committee of senior citizens. 3000 years back. 3000 years back, every tribe had a king. Every tribe had a king. And every king had an advisory committee. And every king had an advisory committee. 3000 years back, every tribe had a king and every king had an advisory committee of senior citizens. See, dear students, the king appointed an advisory committee of senior citizens. As the industries and business increased, the villages of the tribe slowly grow into small towns. And later converted into cities. And later these became the city states. Smaller villages converted as towns. Towns converted as cities. These cities called as city states. And the city states are called as polis. City states are called as polis. This is in Greek language. Polis. This is in Greek language. They are called city-states as polis. And the Greeks were basically loyal to their city. The Greeks were basically loyal to their city. Loyal to their city. Not for country. Not for country. Greeks always very much loyal to their city-states. Every city-state had its own army, city guard, and identity. Culturally, they were similar. The Greek language, Homer's epic poetry, Olympic games, and Greek gods were able to knit Greeks together. Athens and Sparta were the two important city-states of Greeks. Athens and Sparta were the two important city-states. Athens and Sparta were the two important city-states of Greek. See, dear students, these are all what we call as city-states. See, 3000 years back, every tribe of Greeks had its own king. And every king had an advisory committee of senior citizens. And slowly these tribal communities converted as villages. Later that villages converted as towns and later converted as cities. These cities are called as city-states. In Greek language, city-states are called as polis. And every citizen very much loyal to their city, not for country. And every city had its own army, rituals, and traditions, cultural aspects like that. And the great Greek scholar is named Homer. Epic poetry, Olympic games, Greek gods were able to get up together. Athens and Sparta were the two important city-states of Greeks. So now we are going to know something about Athens. Athens. What it means? Athens. See, dear students, this is what we call city-states. See, please write down all the points, city-states. See, 3000 years back, every tribe had a king. Every king had an advisory committee of senior citizens. And slowly Greeks tribes converted as villages. And that villages converted as towns. Later the towns converted as cities. They are called as city-states. So in Greek language, city-states are called as polis. Every citizen of that city loyal to their own cities, not for the country. And every city had its own army, culture, rituals, gods, etc. And the Heliads and Homer's great epics, Olympic games are together. And Athens and Sparta were the two important city-states of Greeks. Okay. See, after the completion of the city-states, now we will move to the another aspect called Athens. We know something about the city called Athens. Dear students, Athens is the capital of Attica state. This is the capital of Attica state. So Athens is was an ideal democratic city state in Greek. Democratic, ideal democratic city. Ideal democratic city in Greek. And it had monarchy in beginning and later had developed into oligarchy. The rich were electing an administrator named Orca. A person by name Draco enforced inhuman laws in Athens. These were later modified and made human friendly by Solon. After Solon, anarchy set in Athens. After Solon, anarchy attained in Athens. The middle class and working class that had emerged due to the commerce. Business and industries joined hands and played a significant role in removing the dictators and restoring back democracy. Restoring back democracy. Later, the age of Pericles started his period is called as Golden Age of Athens. Golden Age of Athens. Golden Age of Athens. Golden Age of Athens during the Pericles period. During the period of Pericles, Athens called as Golden Age. And is period called as Golden Age? During the time of Pericles, art, literature, science, philosophy, and other fields of knowledge flourished very beautifully. As a result of this, Athens was called as the School of Hellas. Athens is called as the School of Hellas. Called as School of Hellas of the effort of Pericles, because he gave a lot of prominence to the development of art, literature, science and philosophy and some other knowledgeable fields. That's why, as a result of this, Athens was called as School of Hellas by Pericles. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato and Aristotle belonged to Athens. Philosophers like Socrates and Plato and Aristotle who belongs to Athens state. This is what we call Athens. And now we know something about Sparta. Sparta. See, Sparta is another city-state of Greek. So, Sparta, the city of Darian tribe, the city of Darian tribe, the city of Darian tribes, the city of Darian tribes, was the military state of Greek. This is called as military state. Military state of Greek. So Sparta called as military state of Greeks. Boys who attained the age of 7 years were separated from their family and were given to rigorous military training at the age of 7 years. Boys attained 7 years. We were get and join military training. See, that was the rule of Sparta. That's why the Sparta town called as military state. And they were 12 years of training. There are 12 years of training, completion of 12 years of training. They recruited into military or posting to military. Due to this, Sparta city-state had a strong military strength. Because of this much of rigorous training gave to the 7 years attained boys up to 12 years of tough training. After that, they have to report it to their military. That's why their military are strong in strength. So Athens and Sparta had successfully encountered the invasion of Persian King Darius, united and defeated the Persian forces in the Marathon battle. Later, Athens state organized a federation of city-states called Confederacy of Delos. That took the shape of an empire. This stimulated enmity between Athens and Sparta. As a result, two Peloponnesian wars were fought against by these two states. Finally, Athens lost to Sparta and became a feudatory state of Sparta. Though Athens lost to Sparta militarily, culturally, it overpowered Sparta by 5th BCE. Due to the invasion of Persia and the internal wars happened between Athens and Sparta, Greek civilization lost its importance. So, due to invasion of Persia and internal wars happened between Athens and Sparta, so that Greek civilization lost its importance. Due to Persian attacks and internal conflicts in Athens and Sparta, automatically the Greek cultural importance became lost. In this way, Greek civilization loss is important. In this way, Greek civilization lost its importance. Okay, dear students, this is what we call city-states of Athens and Sparta. City-states of Athens and Sparta. And now, we are going to learning something about Greek religion. Their religion aspects. The Greek gods, like human beings, had desires and aspirations. Greek gods, like human beings, like humans. It have all aspirations, desires, etc. Greeks believed that these gods resided on Olympus mountain. They believed that the god resides on Olympus mountain. So the god resides on Olympus important god of Greeks. Okay, and Zeus, Z-E-U-S, Z-E-U-S, Zeus is important god of Greeks, and Hera is his wife. Hera is his wife. Whose wife? The god Zeus' wife is Hera. They believed like that. Apart from them, Greeks worshipped Apollo, Aphrodite, Hades, and other gods. They are worshipped Apollo god, Aphrodite, Ares, and other gods. Athena was a patron goddess of the Athens city. Zeus' temple is located at Olympia mountain. All the ancient city-states participated in Olympic Games held at Olympia. All the ancient city of Greece all participated in Olympic Games held at Olympia, that the mountain of God Zeus. See, this is what we call their religion. And now, after the completion of their religious aspects, now we are going to learning something about education and their literature. Education and literature. Education and literature of Greeks. See, dear students, the Greek had a great tradition of teacher, philosophers. Greek had a great tradition. They had great tradition of teacher, philosophers. So Greeks had great tradition of teacher and philosophers. Socrates was the teacher of Plato. Socrates was the teacher of Plato. Was the teacher of Plato. Socrates was the teacher of Plato, and Plato was the teacher of Aristotle. Then Plato was the teacher of Aristotle. Socrates was the teacher of Plato. Plato was the teacher of Aristotle, and Alexander, the king of Macedonia, was illustrious student of Aristotle. And Alexander, the king of Macedonia, was the student of Aristotle. That's why I am telling you, Greeks had a great tradition of teacher and philosophers. And Plato had founded one great institution called several great institution founded by Plato, that is called as academy. Aristotle founded learning center, that is academy, called academy. And so many great philosophers took birth on the land of Greek, especially Homer, the blind poet, wrote two great epics, Iliad and Odyssey. These two epics provide the details of lifestyle of the contemporary Greeks and their socio-religious system and aspects. Iliad narrates the victory of Greeks over Troy city. Of the Odyssey narrates the journey and adventure of Greek hero Odysseus while coming back home from the victorious battle of Troy. Herodotus had Thucydides or the important historians. Herodotus and Thucydides or the important historians. Herodotus is called as the father of history, and Sophocles is the most renowned playwright who wrote the plays Oedipus, the King, and Antigone. See, these are all what we tell about education and literature of the Greeks. After that, their art and architecture. See, slavery was universal in Greeks. Slavery system was the universal during the Greek civilization. This provided the Greeks ample leisure time and allowed them to engage in various art forms. They sang using a string instrument called lyre. Greeks excelled in music, theatre and dancing. Greeks made tremendous achievements in the field of architecture, sculpture and painting. Pericles built a Parthenian temple using white marble and is a fine example of beautiful architecture. A sculptor named Miran has sculpted discus throwing athletics sculpture. Discus throwing athletics sculpture. So called disco balls. That is called as disco balls. Greek sculptures sculpted the realistic human shapes. Polynius was the most famous painter of that period. So this is what we called art and architecture of Greek civilization. And their science. Pythagoras and Thales were the two stalwarts in the mathematics. Democritus, who presented atom theory, and Anaximander, who advocated the evolution of humans from fish, and the important scientists Hippocrates, called as the father of medicine, had mastered the method of proving medicine scientifically to human diseases is from Greece. And Greek spirit sports. Greeks had given equal importance to both physical growth and psychological growth. And sports always has had special acceptance among Greece. Sportsmen had respectful status in the society. Different levels of sports events were organized. Olympus Games stands unique among these regular sports events. It started 2750 years back in Olympia. Sportsmen from all the city and respected their city states with much pride and happiness. Greeks won the marathon battle against Persia in 2500 years back. A soldier named Perdipides pedipipes ran 24 miles to deliver the news of their victory to Athens from the battlefield. He died after delivering the news of victory. In his honor, marathon running was added to Olympic Games. The democratic political system of ancient Greece was destroyed by the king Philip of Macedonia of North Greece. Alexander was his son. He was a great conqueror. Aristotle was his teacher. He undertook an ambitious military expeditions of conquering the world, which resulted in the victory over Egypt, Babylonia, and Persia. He reached till India. Thereafter, while on his way back home, he died at Babylonia. He built a city called Alexandria in Egypt. He built a city called Alexandria in Egypt. See that type of king, Alexander. He was the king of Macedonia in Greece. In his short lifespan, he set out to conquer the whole world. He was successful in building a huge empire. He defeated the Persian Empire and advanced towards India. Aristotle, one of the greatest scholars of Greece, was his teacher. He died while returning after a war at the border of India at Babylonia in 323 BCE. That type of great aspirational king Alexander was, who was also belongs to Greek civilization. See, later on, we know something about Olympic Games. The Olympic Games began in Greece in 776 BC. The games, which were held once every 4 years, were also used for measurement of time. They used to be arranged in Olympia in area as part of Olympic festival. This festival was celebrated in honor of peace and pact between Elis and Pisa city-states. In the beginning, there were only running races. This race over 200 meters was called stadium. Thus, the team of measurement of distance was stadia. An olive branch used to be placed on the head of the winner in the race. The Olympic Games were held for more than 1,000 years. They came to an end when the Christian emperor of Byzantine Theodosius banned them in the 4th century CE. The Olympic Games were revived in the 19th century under the initiative of France. Even today, Olympic Games are conducted once in 4 years. That type of games introduced by the Greeks during the period of 776 BCE. 776 BCE, where Olympics started by Greeks. And a new Olympics started in the 19th century with the initiative of France. So even today, Olympic Games are conducted once in 24 years. So this is what we call Greek civilization and their contributions. Greek civilization and and their contributions towards the world. Okay, this is all the content. Told something about Greek civilization. Okay, Greek civilization part is over now. If you have any doubts, please ask to me and clarify it next classes. Okay, so I will stop here. Remaining the things of the same unit will be discussed on tomorrow's class. Thank you. Thank you very much.